Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Egg and Baby in the morning. You may hear the occasional hiccup. I said you may hear the occasional hiccup. Oh, did you get that? Was pretty good. There was a rhythm to it. Alright, we are Lilith, Y8OCCO33. You're alright, baby. I don't even know if you remember, but you have the hiccups like quite literally, I would say, once a day, maybe 2 times on some days and 0 times on others, but on average, maybe like 1.25 times a day. You think I haven't crunched the numbers? Are you crazy? I just walked over here. Anyway, I don't. What were we talking about? I don't know. Isaac's been going very well. Everything's been going well, you know. It's been a fun week of streaming. Twitch Rivals was great. Stream before Twitch Rivals was great. Stream after Twitch Rivals was good. Look, I'm not mincing my words. I'm not afraid to call a stream good instead of great. I know, baby. But I'm anecdoteless, as is often the case. I have no anecdotes. I've been telling the same, I don't know, 25 stories for about a year. It's still nuts to me, you know, that it's been about a year since the lockdown started, and like, the series is still going. Like, I mean, if that's not a sign that, you know, a series has some resiliency. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, Isaac's not going to last forever after Repentance. There will be a much-needed tolerance break to regain some of my sanity before the inevitable release of some sort of Isaac 2. I have no insider information on anything like that. But Edmund just casually sometimes he just throws it out. He's like, I got some ideas that I'm thinking about putting in the chamber and holding on to until Isaac 2. And I was like, you can't just like, hey man, people's lives are at stake here. You can't just be throwing out willy-nilly like, oh, Isaac 2. Like, what the heck are you talking about, Isaac 2? Anyway, I'm not actually mad. If anything, it's some kind of like job security. But, you know, the fact that this series has lived through now closing in on like 13 months of pretty much staying inside is quite remarkable. It's something that's worth being a little proud of, I think. This re-rolls every consumable on this room. Can I? I can't. You know what? In for a penny, in for a pound, right? Okay. Alright. So I'm not thrilled with the payout. That I don't even want to talk about that. I'm a little offended. I'm not going to deny it. I'm a little insulted. I believe at the end of the day we spent 2 bombs and a key to get a bomb. Not a great payout. And, you know, I don't even want to think about the alternatives of what we could have done now that I realized we could have gotten some extra money from the secret room on top of that with the shopkeepers in there. But let's just move on. It's important to me that we get an arcade on our next floor. So we can try to kickstart Cambian Conception, and then who knows where the world, you know, the places will go. Oh, sorry, you're not allowed to reference. Look, I don't really have a horse in the race on the canceling Dr. Seuss stuff, mostly because I haven't read the offending literature. I think it's part of the problem, right? Is that like people read like The Cat in the Hat, and then 43 years later they're like, hey, Dr. Seuss is getting canceled, and you're like, what? Because of The Cat in the Hat? I don't know. I think he's got some other very spicy stuff. But I've been on record very recently as saying that I don't think Dr. Seuss is a good author. And he's dead. I don't know whether... I'm not trying to, like, create any controversy there. I'm just like, I don't know. I guess I'm more worried about the feelings of the living. That's my take on that. He's a bad author. Sorry. I don't have any objectivity that says he's a bad author. It's just, you know, my experience reading books to, you know, our child. I'm like, you know, whenever I have to read Dr. Seuss, I'm like, oh my god, what are you talking? 60 pages of, you know, this guy thinks he's freaking Shakespeare. He's not Shakespeare. Would you toot on a poot? I would toot on a poot and then scoot on my zoot, dude. You're like, okay, anyone could do that. You ever hear Kanye West? Lift yourself. Poop-dee, poopity scoop, poop-dee, scoop-dee, poopity scoop. That's about the same level as like hop on pop. But I know people are like, please stop. I'm a 50-year-old man, but my childhood hurts, right? Come on, get over it, okay? There's no sacred cows in comedy, which is what I consider myself to be doing. Either you're laughing with me or you're laughing at me. So that demon judgment will pay out. I'm not concerned about that. Okay. I'm not concerned about this demon judgment. Dude, my brain is switched on today. Are you seeing these dodges? It's like I'm parrying Ludwig's attacks in Twitch Rivals. Like I mean, honestly, it's effortless. I could banter while we're doing it. Okay, I don't mean to rub it in. You gotta be careful assuming rapport with people you've never actually had a conversation with. Mom's contacts, good item. That demon judgment, I know I said he's gonna pay out. We can't guarantee that, to be honest with you, but what we can do is guarantee maybe we'll get close to a Cambian Conception payout. What we don't want to do is what I always do and accidentally take an item on the Deal with the Devil. I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. I feel the tickle. Oh, it's like a Vicks vapor rub building up in my nostrils. Anyway, it's gone now, so thanks for ruining it. We don't have to take our Deal with the Devil early if we can get some red hearts in advance. And instead use those to play the Demon Judgment more. We could maybe get more Cambian Conception payout, you know, get closer to the payout, I should say. And then also get maybe even an item out of it to begin with. Hello, baby. Hello. I gotta tell you, this baby, she's been doing some amazing stuff. Like in the morning, sometimes she's ready to get up, like half an hour before I actually wake her up. Sometimes I go into the nursery and she has used her foot to kick on like the mobile. I can't believe I placed that bomb like a microsecond before you just exploded ambiently. Baby, what the heck's the problem? Talk to me. Anyway, she'll use her. There's like a big lit button on the front of, I mean, it's only lit after you press it, but there's basically like a huge baby-friendly button. Sometimes I'll walk into the room and she will have kicked, I mean, I gotta take it now. I mean, that's just incredible. I know I said we shouldn't, but do as I say, not as I do. She'll have kicked on the mobile and she'll be in there listening to like Claire de Lune and stuff like that. It's crazy. You're the smartest baby on planet Earth. It's the head, man. I'm telling you. It's that classic NL head. It possess the brain, you know, it's full of like you know, you got so much plasticity. All I gotta do, I think, like, and I'm not saying I'm the smartest person on planet Earth, but I think I really did have the capability to be quite intelligent. I just squandered it. Any like so-called like genetic neurological potential I had, I squandered it on Whose Line Is It Anyway? The Price Is Right. You know, Nickelodeon reruns and stuff like that, and, you know, you get the idea. I gotta make sure that she ends up in, like, Kumon or something like that. That's the thing, right? I really should not be taking it that far. Okay, that was scary. Why did I even take the pill after all that? But we got great items. We know we're getting an item from the boss. We don't know what it'll be. It'll probably be HP, though. Yeah, baby. Again, it's that classic Patton Oswalt joke, you know? Whatever your parents, you know, let you do, you're not gonna let your kid get away with, and then they're gonna grow up to be like the opposite of you, right? I think I'm scared now. Use this AWAS. Definitely, I mean, I think we just gotta go at this point. We gotta be close to a Cambian Conception payout. I'm gonna let our child engage in, you know, recreation. As long as you consider, you know, learning to multiply 3-digit numbers in your head by the age of 5.5 to be recreation, then yeah, she's gonna be able to participate in hours of recreation every single day. I'm telling you, I'm a tiger mom. I don't know if that's true. It's really hard to tell, you know. You would think after maybe 6 months-ish, you'd be able to have some idea of what your parental style is, but, like, not really. I mean, I don't... You know, we both nurtured the child, but in terms of discipline, it's not like, you know, she's getting into a whole lot of trouble right now. We don't have to set too many serious boundaries. You can't yell at a baby. Like, you're automatically, even if you felt justified in the moment, you would be, you know, very much your position would be undermined by the fact that you're yelling at a baby. You can't win that argument. It's like yelling at a puppy or something like that. I mean, now that I think about it, look, I'm not a puppy guy. I'm just saying there might be some situations in which maybe the harsh tone of voice is required to get the attention of a puppy. A baby, I'm unconvinced. Now, I'll tell you, I'm a little nervous about where we stand on this run, and I think I should be. We do have like an incredible position, to be honest with you. The run is amazing. We just need two things. One of them is a consumable, and the other one is the ability to walk inside of a room so that maybe we could pick up, you know, something of value. That's not the consumable I'm looking for, but I do appreciate it. Like, we should be totally fine. This is what it takes to kill a run like this, you know? We had hubris by playing that Demon Judgment, assuming it was due for a payout. And then, you know, some shops that didn't pay out with the things we wanted. No HP from either of our first two bosses, and then no consumables to allow us to get to a shop now that we have the resources to afford Spirit Hearts. So you just gotta wait it out. You just gotta chill a little bit. You gotta remember you're probably just fine. And above all else, this is the lethal shot. You never want to go down to half a heart. You get too inside of your own brain. So you just gotta, you know, enter your own Zen world. Enter your happy place. Happy place. Baby, I know. You're a grunter. Your discontent has been noted as per my previous email. I will pass those concerns along. I hope this email finds you well. Baby. What's the problem? I think I know what the problem is. She's like, what do you think the problem is, Dad? I still got the freaking hiccups. I don't know. It's been a long time since I had a milk burp, but I feel like they're not the best, you know? I kind of think we have to look. I almost was about to throw my freaking keyboard through the screen there. I swear, like, the troll bomb, it has a variable explosion time. But I swear it's not variable. It's actually, like, they do a quick calculation. That's like, oh, if we can get to the character model, then we'll just make it last forever. Not where you want to be standing. Baby. And I was like, baby, 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 why? See, like, you know what I mean? Or maybe it just feels more dangerous. Either way, I hate it. This is the first, like, not guaranteed win by, like, 15 minutes we've had in a long time, though. So you know what? It's kind of refreshing. It's kind of refreshing how they keep reminding me that there's a lot of garbage items in this game. I would love to get a reroll going here, but I'm gonna pass on that just temporarily. And why would I do that? Well, I wanted champion belt. Like, our DPS is good, but you know, it's much easier to find a Spirit Heart in most situations than it is to find a damage upgrade. We need a Tears upgrade too. We're falling a little bit behind on rate of fire mainly, but everything else is going a-okay. Mom's contact almost put me in a bit of a tricky spot there, but it's okay. Life goes on. It basically, functionally inconceivable that we would take enough damage to die here. All right. So okay, well, you know what? I've decided not to complain anymore, and I will be moving on. Is that all you get for your money? You know, you like that song? I know people have very strong opinions on Billy Joel. I don't really love Billy Joel. And, you know, I mean, obviously the fact that he played, he plays every night at Madison Square Garden or something like that. Like, that in and of itself is, you know, an indication that he's obsessively liked by a certain percentage of the population, but he's got a couple of bangers. I really hate Piano Man. It's just because, like, in university, I used to go to these open mics that were like, you know, you could either sing or you could do, like, stand-up comedy. And, you know, nobody that goes to an open mic in a situation like that is really there to see the comedy. It's always like, you know, it's like a coffee house sort of vibe. They just come there to hear, like, acoustic covers of songs that otherwise would be threatening because they haven't listened to anything contemporary since Dylan went electric. So I'd always, you know, I only did a couple of stand-up sets in university, and I call it that as if I was in the industry, but really they did not go particularly well. The first one was a bomb. I almost got booed off the stage. The second one went a little bit better, and I felt like I was on top of the world. But inevitably, no matter how good your set was, everybody in the audience was just out there, like, waiting for, and the microphone smells like a beer, and you're like, okay, what am I doing? I shouldn't be here. Leave the open mics to the Piano Man, you know? It's not for me. Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. What was I talking about? Billy Joel. Oh, yeah, I like a couple of Billy Joel songs. I mean, like, Moving Out, I think, has got a, it's almost like it's a midpoint between a rock song and a show tune. You should never argue with the crazy man. You Apart from that, I'm not all that about, you know, Uptown Girl or, you know, Still Rock and Roll to me. We didn't start the fire. I'm like, you didn't write that song. History wrote that song. You just took notes. You know, you were just you just took the minutes from the meeting. I don't respect it. Maybe it's a little needlessly reductive, but more Spirit Hearts, please. I mean, and we just got our Cambian Conception payout of Dark Bum, which is pretty nice, but you know, this is what you want to do with Lilith. When you've got HP, you gotta spend it productively. Put yourself in a bit of a... I mean, are you seeing these dodges? Okay, never mind. that was me illustrating my point and spending HP productively. You gotta spend HP productively to try to leverage your, you know, potential Cambian Conception advantage here. Why not? I was gonna say, we've already taken some truly garbage pills, so... And by that I mean we've taken one truly garbage pill. But it is like the most garbage of all. So now, it's amazing how quickly you forget, right? A mere floor ago, we were in such a dangerous position, and now I'm looking at this and I'm going, well, we should just walk over spikes to get Cambian Conception to pay out a little faster. I don't actually recommend this. Yo, I didn't know if he could reach that far. Halo reached that far. You know what I mean? I already tweeted this to Bear Taffy, but, you know, whenever I give the baby a bath, literally, so we have, like, this bath book. And we got, like, bath toys and stuff like that, which you know, is fine, but, you know, it's kind of like a half a development activity and half cleanliness. It's the same way, like, you might be like, whoa, that's weird. No, as an adult, it's the same thing. When you're in the shower, people take 20-minute showers, they spend 2 minutes actually washing themselves, and then 18 minutes having, like, arguments with their high school bullies in their head, right? Be like, oh, man, hey, Derek. Yeah, nice to see you. Remember how you used to bully me? Well, now I'm the manager of the Geek Squad at the second largest Best Buy in the state. Yeah, bet you wish you could go back in time, Derek, you jerk. What do you do now? Oh, you own your own, like, contracting and drywall company. Okay, yeah, but, you know, are you the manager? Oh, you're this director. Okay, is that higher than... Anyway, like... Sorry, I didn't mean to make it, like, too real. I'm just saying. But anyway, the baby book is, like... You know, it's 4 pages long, but each page literally has 3 words. I think I remember the whole thing. It starts with, let's eat breakfast, and then it's got a bunch of pictures of, like, fruits and stuff like that. And then it says, let's get dressed, and it's, like, raining outside in the book, so you can be like, oh, look at that, she's got boots on, and, she's got an umbrella and a hat, and blah, blah, blah. Why not, man? Why not? Let me caffeinate here, because this is a bit and a half. Then it says, let's go explore, and that's the end of the book. So, let me put it this way. You got to do some of your own legwork. I have an idea. I don't know if I've ever done this. This makes up for 1/8 of the pot play, in my opinion. Look at that. Nothing wrong with that. So I tweeted it to Bear Taffy, but, you know, occasionally, you try to keep up a running dialogue, too. Okay, honey, now I'm going to put water on your head, and then you're going to get some shampoo, so, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, just because I think it's good for, I mean, I've heard that it's good for the, like, language development and stuff like that, to constantly have, like, some chatter going on, and as inane as it might seem. Last time I gave her a bath, feeling a little bit zonked, right? In my head, I looked at the baby shampoo, and then to the tune of the Halo theme, I just went, baby shampoo, 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 baby shampoo. She's loving the song, by the way. She's having a great time right now. She does not seem to enjoy it as much as... No, I will not. I worked for this one. I deserve to keep this one. Frog likes to hop, hop, hop. It jumps in the water. I cannot overstate. It's a guaranteed smile. If there is ever a time where Frog likes to hop, 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 he jumps in the water, duka-da, splish, splash, does not provoke a smile, we have to go to the hospital. Something's gone wrong. Well, speaking of something going wrong, we got Leo. Its name is Leo, and I cannot understand. Why does this item have no statistical effect? There's another item, and it is called Thunder Thighs. It's even worse because your speed gets bad, I cry. Okay, now I'm like, I want to hear... excuse me. Now I'm like, I want to listen to some Duran Duran. Look, I think Rio is like a pretty good song. I would maybe put it in the A tier. I mean, not S tier, but A tier. Like, I would... If it was on the car stereo, I would jam out, right? The only thing that it's actually a song that's worse on the radio because it ends with like a 2-minute sax bit, which you normally is like, you know, you're thinking of Bruce Springsteen, like no, it goes hard. I like Bruce Springsteen. I like Jungle Land as a song. I'm just saying, it's not a melancholic end of the song. It's jubilant. It's triumphant, right? But radio stations can't do that, so instead they, you know, because they'd miss out on some advertising. So instead they just cut it at the like do-do-do-do-do-do, which is unacceptable. Another song they do it with is Goodbye Stranger by Supertramp, you know? Where they, you know, they do the whole goodbye stranger, it's been nice, hope you find a paradise. And then at the end, it's supposed to end with this, you know, kind of sweet guitar solo to send you out that goes like, but then the radio's like, all right, coming up at the top of the hour, the weather and the traffic report. Guess what? As usual, there's cars. It's 5 p.m. See you soon. And then all the ads are like, ski. Did you think that was your car? Then you're stupid. Buy a car from me. Like, I hate it, man. Yeah, well, sure. Well, this is worth holding, man. Stores and spades. The sax solo at the end. Oh, man. It's not really a solo because everybody else is also playing their instruments still. I mean, a sax solo, it doesn't mean there's a solo. It means there's no vocals. It'd be pretty wild if every solo, like even in the guitar solo, was just like, all right, drummer, stop. It wouldn't have the same vibe, right? That was an attempt to be Master of Puppets, but I don't want to actually get... I could easily sing Master of Puppets probably perfectly, but I don't want to do it because of the Metallica's DMCA history. Anyway, It definitely an A-tier song. I would put Rio on my own playlist as well. I have, in fact, put Rio on my own playlist. Go ahead, hit me. Like, I have KMB Conception. I'm only getting stronger. I'd like Lump of Coal, please. Thank you. Joker stars. We're gonna, you know, I'll probably just pop this Joker card right away, baby. What do you think? She's like, don't do it. That's impatient. Nah, I'm gonna do it. Can't stop me. It's not very good, but I did it anyway. And the reason I did it anyway is because I thought, you know, maybe permanent Polaroid invincibility has some value. And, you know, we'll hope to get the chance to do it again here. I mean, I'd still like to take the HP because it's our first tiers up. I know it sounds kind of weird, but our HP upgrade is indeed our first tiers up, right? We could just step on those now. But then on top of that, if we get an arcade, we want more KMB and Conception plays. That's kind of like, that's the scaling play for Lilith. So we're not exactly like, you know, there's not, I would say, like a ton of confidence that we're like creaming this run right now. The run is good. Our damage stat is excellent, like actually fantastic. But like in general, this is not, it's not lights out yet. You know, this is not Enter Sandman, Mariano Rivera, donkey, donkey, donk, da donkey, 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 da dunk. We're not quite there. That does not help, but having the existence of a guppy item is, you know, a net positive for sure. There's no doubt about it. Just keep moving on here. That's what we're looking for, is a more, let's call it an assailable blood bank, maybe? I would sack some spirit hearts to it as well. Okay, you know, it's just the universal truth, isn't it? Oh, hey, what the... Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Like, I'm willing to give up a few spirit hearts here, just because I think we're close to KMB and Conception. And this is not something they're going to teach you at the academy, but we did just get KMB and Conception to pay out with Little Brim. I would consider that an equitable exchange. I feel pretty solid about the way that went down. You know, we needed a damage burst. This is probably one of those top few damage items you could get, and we're having to execute a little bit of strategy here to get the job done. And this is basically what I was hoping for. You know what? Give me the map as well. It's a bit greedy, but and really all we wanted was spirit hearts. But I'm happy to have the map as well. Yeah, take it one further. It's not like we need money for anything after this. Almost kind of blew it there. Get me out of here. What have I done? What have I done? I've made my life much harder than it needs to be. Never mind, I overreacted. It's perfectly fine. Anyway, Billy Joel, yeah. That's all I got. Billy Joel. Billy Joel in the radio. Really, I'm trying to up my my age demographics here. I'm trying to make videos that appeal predominantly to the 60+ demographic, in the hopes that maybe one of them will feel pity for me and give me their second dose of the vaccine. It is like, I don't know, maybe I was gonna say maybe nobody else is dealing with this, but I know it's not true because I've seen articles about it. It's kind of, you know, I very rarely have FOMO. In fact, you know, somewhat, let's not call it famous, because I don't think much I do is famous, but a quote that a lot of people like that I said maybe a couple of years ago was, I don't get FOMO. Like, if other people are having fun, I genuinely am not like, oh, I wish that was me. I actually have phobia, which is the fear of being included, which is being invited to something that it's hard to come up with an excuse to say no to, when I'd rather just stay at home. However, you know, there's some real vaccine FOMO. I mean, genuinely, and I've had to, like, kind of nip it in the bud in myself. Like, I've got friends who work in the, like, the medical field, and they got their vaccines, and I was like, that's fine. And then, you know, there's people I know that have underlying medical conditions, and they got vaccines, and I'm like, of course, that makes sense. I can just sit at home and watch, you know, Netflix for another extra month, so that, you know, I'm in a much less at-risk category, for sure. Then, like, I don't know, like, I saw that in North Carolina, they're like, You can just come get the vaccine if you've ever smoked more than 100 cigarettes cumulatively in your life. And I was like, come on. I know I don't live in America, but like now I wouldn't say I'm like I get it, you know, you've probably done, you know, some damage to your lungs. But I'm like, you know, now I'm like, can't you just open it wide? Like, what kind of criteria is that? 100 cigarettes in your life. And then later, well, today, I should say, so earlier today, there was an article about how, like, the San Diego Zoo vaccinated, like, 8 gorillas. And I had to catch myself, because I was like, come on, man. Like, they're not even, I'm not saying they're not noble creatures, but, you know, it was like Operation Warp Speed had some of my tax money in it. No, it didn't, NL. You don't live in America. Yeah, but America charges a 15% freaking withholding tax on all American dividends. So there is some of my tax money in there. You think about everything, don't you? You think I don't know my own balance sheet? Anyway, sorry. I got a little... That was over the line. I apologize. Then, anyway, I found out that the gorilla vaccine is not fit for human use. So I was not mad anymore. I was like, you know what? That's for them. It's not for me. But I think I just have to keep it in perspective that, like, you know, at the end of the day, I'll be amongst at least within Canada, and it's going to be different country to country. Like, inevitably, there's going to be other countries out there that don't even have, like, a vaccine supply pipeline, and they're going to be like, well, you're going to have to wait until, like, August? That must be hard. We don't even know when we're getting it. So I recognize, you know, grass is always greener, I suppose, but I'm also just trying to remember, like, at the end of the day, you know, it's, for me, it's starting to get a little grindy. You know, I would like to be outside more often, especially as the weather gets nicer, and I'd like to, you know, even just the idea of like being able to sit down inside of a restaurant, and it's, you know, again, it's not that big of a deal, which is actually the spirit of this whole bit, but it's not that big of a deal, but there's some foods that don't work well in takeout versus how well they taste in the restaurant. Like, sushi kind of handles it, depending on the sushi that you're getting. I thought that was a tinted rock. Sushi handles it pretty well, but, you know, I haven't had a good, you know, like, burger in a long time. By the time they arrive, it's just like, you know, they get jostled around in the driver's car or their bike, you know, etc., etc. But again, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Is like, these are first world problems, you know, like, I think that makes sense. If the biggest thing about the pandemic for you is that it's merely inconvenient, then yeah, okay, you should probably accept that it's okay to wait until, you know, maybe not the very, very back of the line, because, you know, if otherwise healthy 21-year-olds are getting vaccinated before me at the ripe old age of 32, then there's going to be very, very many strongly worded letters sent to City Hall. Let's put it that way. But I understand, and I think, you know, the other thing is just constantly keeping it in perspective that, like, you know, a year ago, we didn't even know, like, if it was possible to make these vaccines. And it was only in, like, maybe November that they were like, oh yeah, they're not only are they, like, starting to come out, but they're efficacious. And then, like, you know, the news, in my opinion at least, just keeps getting better, you know. They are like, hey, you know, it turns out, like, yeah, you need 2 doses, but the first dose is, like, pretty highly effective, so we're going to spread out the second dose. And then Johnson & Johnson is like, hey, ours is, like, 94% effective or something like that. Like, now, we've gone from, you know, the idea that, like, like, oh, this might just be a new normal for us to live with. We've gone from that to, like, do you have any J&J vaccine in stock? Like, don't get me wrong, I'll take the AstraZeneca if it's all you got, but I'd really, like, I'm craving that Johnson & Johnson dose today. So, you know, if you're dealing with a little vaccine FOMO like me, and part of it is not just the, you know, FOMO, part of it is, like, seeing people get vaccinated when we don't even have, like, the ability to sign up for, like, appointments or anything like that yet. At least, you know, like, in March right now in British Columbia, you can get an appointment in the first half of the month if you are 80 plus, and you can get an appointment in the second half of the month if you're 75 plus. So we got a ways to go here, right? But, you know, it's just a reminder that, you know, in at least in Canada. And I mean, the U.S. seems to actually be vaccinating even faster. But and I'm sure some other parts of the world, you know, it'll start to you know, return to some degree of normalcy soon, and you know, try to maybe, at least this is how I'm getting through the FOMO, which is not even really like a real concern. It's mostly just a mild annoyance, but just remind myself that it's really like all this, you know, vaccine stuff for COVID will probably end up going down. Like in 10 years, I think it'll be looked back upon as one of the major, you know, medical scientific milestones in memory. Like it's pretty amazing. When you're living in it, you know, I think it feels like things are happening a little slowly, but actually, like, you know, when you pull yourself back in retrospect and you're like, man, we had the vaccines within like 10 months of the outbreak. Like, it's kind of amazing. You know, there's a lot of things that should not give you warm, fuzzy feelings, I think, about the past year or so, but there's a couple of things that are, you know, may I suggest, downright hopeful. Anyway, speaking of which, we made it through this run. For now, thanks for watching, and the baby's asleep. Beautiful. For now, thanks for watching. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Northernlion. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Click the like button if you did, and I'll see you next time. See ya!